Okay, guys, so we literally have 6 more days until the new server comes, and a lot of people I don't think a lot of people even know that there's a server coming, like a storm. And it's going to be kind of like a fresh start server, and this server is going to be for everyone, really. I think the server is going to be extremely packed. So pretty much this is the timeline for the new server. If you guys didn't know, I'm gonna scroll down slow, whatever, so you guys can check everything out. So everything won't be released to us all at once. A lot of people think that, oh, previously everything was. No, bitch, this is how shit works. So have fun on this actual real vanilla experience. Trust me, it's gonna be great. The server name is Elysium. It's a PvP server. Here's the dates over here. As you can see, I don't know if you guys can see my mouse, but I'll highlight it. Boom, January the 7th. We're going to scroll down, and as you can see, everything's not being released right away. You get stuff being released in March. Dark Wall's not even being released until April. Then you have, again, AV, which is one of the coolest battlegrounds, but the longest battlegrounds and overrated, is not going to even be released until June with all of this stuff, new mount upgrades and stuff like that. This is exactly how it was. And then in August or whatever, we're getting finally Blackwing Lair. So trust me, you guys will be barely geared enough to do Blackwing Lair when it comes out. I'm just gonna put that out there right now. And then Zogrub is going to be introduced in October. And the purpose for Zogrub was to catch people up in gear and shit so you guys would even be able to do Blackwing Lair. It's kind of like Blizzard's like first like little catch up raid type thing, but it's no pushover either. It's gonna fuck your shit up like all sorts of goodness. And then on top of that, now you have, I don't know what the hell this is. I don't think I've ever experienced this. Dragons of Nightmare in patch 1.8. I'm probably gonna have to look that up or whatever, but it doesn't matter because that shit ain't even come until December. And then in 2018, we get patch 1.9. The gates. Oh my goodness, bro. This is what it's about. AQ, dude. I can't even pronounce this. I don't know what the hell that is. Kurjur or whatever. Anyway, this is going to be this is going to be March 2018, and this is gonna be crazy. So hopefully you guys are geared and still with the server. Then I know I will be, especially if everything's like taken care of properly and done right. This is just going to be outstanding. Like I can wait. I can wait for it. And then we have patch 1.10, which is when the tier zero point 0.5 is available, which is another kind of catch up patch that Blizzard did back in the day to give you guys like some gear to be able to get into rating because by times this came out, AQ and shit, people were so geared. It's just really, hard to even find a guild. Like no one was doing the old dungeons anymore. So that's pretty much what that is. And increased reputation gained in Warsome Coach and Iraqi Basin, which is cool. I like how they're doing it exactly how Blizzard did it back in the day. So they're not just gonna be like, oh, we're just gonna hook up the PvP system and boom, PvP system's just like the way it was at the end of vanilla. Like, no, you're gonna have to go through some stuff, man. And then finally, Naxxramas, dude, the Scourge Invasion, which is crazy. Quest lines and all that stuff. Most this is the content that most people never even got into, and this isn't even coming until September 2018. So we have so much progression, you guys. Like you guys don't understand. Like this doesn't mean you don't get discouraged because stuff is not coming out until next year. You know what I mean? This you have to understand that this is what made WoW. This was the backbone of WoW. So at no point are you gonna feel like you're all progressioned out. Like you know what I mean? Like this is back when there was so much world PvP. There was so much groups. Like you're gonna see when you're in the server. I promise you that you're not gonna like be worrying about, oh, I want to do Nexaramas or something like that so bad or anything like that. Like trust me, you can wait for it. Just trust me. This isn't like those other games where content gets boring and shit like that. I'm telling you, a year later, you're still going to be running with your buddies and Anixia's Lair and Mountain Core and stuff like that, which came out on the very first patch. It gets boring when you don't have a solid group. So, mind you, find a group and find some friends to play with, and that's really the key to this, y'all. But that's it. That's the timeline. You guys can go check this out. I'll have a link to this also in the description below. Everyone's going to flock to it. You're not going to have to worry about, things being over exaggerated in the auction house or anything like that because everything's going to be fresh. There's not going to be any transfers whatsoever, so everyone starts off fresh. And the coolest thing about this is we're not going to have to run into twinks when we go to battlegrounds when we're first hitting 10 and everything. And when we hit level 60, we're going to be able to get into raid guilds and all that stuff. Now, with all that being said, it's probably the best thing to do. And I mean, you can get on Nestarius, and you can, level up characters and play with characters and stuff like that. But I'm about to hit you guys with the recommendations, like what you should do, you know, to kind of prepare yourself for whatever. Now, this video is gonna be kind of like, a prepare video. Everything's gonna be crazy. What's gonna happen is all the quests are going to be bombarded and you might not be able to do your quest. If you're a type of individual that loves the quests and stuff like that, maybe you should wait 2 weeks before you start your character. For me, I most likely am just going to be grinding mobs. Um, I will grab quests if they're kill quests. If they're not kill quests, then I'll probably just go revert back to killing mobs because there's going to be so many people. You're not going to be able to do a single quest. Like, I am not even joking. If we go to the starting areas here, I'll show you guys. So this is the Nestarius starting area, right? And as you can see, it's kind of packed. This is not even during peak hours. Let me tell you guys, when this new server hits, this area is going to be so packed. It doesn't matter if you're torn, undead, alliance, horde, any race over any of the factions, whatever. This place is going to be so jam packed, and we're just going to run and look at things. Like, as you can see, majority of the mobs are dead. So I don't think you want to, like, waste time on collection quests and stuff like that unless you're in a group. And even if you're in a group, it's a bad idea. There's just way too much. Trust me, it's almost way faster to just grind because there's going to be too many people in this area just completely slaughtering the hell out of it, everything that even moves. And some classes are going to be a little bit harder because some classes kill things a lot easier, like hunters for instance, and some classes like priests kill things a lot slower. So you guys have to keep that in mind as well. But I mean, you know what I did when I first heard this server, just to, like, get a feeling of how it was previously again. I leveled up that shaman, and it took me a while. It took me like 3 days, and just to get to 18. And to be honest, I could have been a lot higher. And I think what I messed up on is waiting for quests. That was my biggest mistake. So that's probably tip number one. Don't do it. As you can see, this isn't nowhere near peak. This is late at night, and look at this. All the mobs are dead. You would be waiting here for a while, waiting to try to get a hit on whatever you really can get a hit on, to tag something before someone else tags something. And that's just what it is. So you can imagine, don't be afraid to go out there and just grind mobs. The only required and necessary quests are your class quests. The hunter must do your pet quest. You know what I mean? You have to do those quests. Like, for if you're a shaman, you need to do your totem quest. But every other quest, there's no requirements to do any of these quests besides your attunements and stuff later on. So just kill things, and level faster than everyone else around you. Trust me, you will. Most of the quests anyway at this level probably give like 400 experience, if even. Some of them even give 200 experience. And let's see how much experience we get from killing this. We get 84 experience from killing this one guy. And mind you, I think some of that was rested. But I mean, even if it's 50 experience, you do the math. If you're sitting here and you're trying to find these mobs and you're not gonna be able to find them, wouldn't it be better to just go to an area where you can get free farm mobs? So, if you want to be ahead of the pack, remember, kill quests, okay, kinda, but you kinda want to avoid quest areas or whatever at all, unless you think that you pushed far enough ahead where you don't have to worry about it. But I mean, this server is going to be so packed. I mean, man. And on top of being so packed, it might be unstable for first couple of days, so we might want to hold off. So we'll see. Another thing you guys are gonna be want to do to really stay ahead of everyone is professions. Now, I know a lot of people don't like professions, and a lot of people just want to level up and do PvP and stuff like that, and that's kind of fine. What the hell? I don't know what's up with that hyena, man. That thing's just like disappearing and coming back or whatever. This fucking ghost hyena. But the things that you guys want to do is professions, man. I cannot tell you how important it is to pick the right professions. You know what I mean? Like, professions have always made money in World of Warcraft. Especially during starts. During starts or whatever is where people make all their money. I mean, man, I've made so much gold in World of Warcraft during the beginning of expansions and stuff like that. I didn't have the luxury of taking advantage of that, when WoW first came out because, well, I was new to WoW, so I didn't understand, you know what I mean, about the goal and all that stuff. But trust me, it's something that you guys definitely want to take into consideration. You know, things to avoid. Everybody's going to be getting gathering type professions, man. And you may think it's a good idea to gather. I mean, unless you're going to be pulling out ahead of people, like, you know what I mean? Like, if unless you're not casual and you're hardcore and you have the time to be like, gathering stuff like herbs and mining nodes, everybody and their mother's going to be doing it. So, and this is not the time where this is not the time where WoW's great, where everyone can fucking mine and gather the same plant and fucking node or everything. Trust me, there's gonna be way too many people. Those nodes are There's not gonna be any nodes. You're gonna be looking around for these nodes. By times you get enough fucking copper or plants to make a potion or to make any type of armor that is associated with fucking mining, GG, man. So if you're think about that also, if you're making a plate class or yeah, a plate class that requires mining, well, you're going to have to get your shit off the auction house. It's still going to be better for you to just get another profession and buy that stuff. Unless you're going to be pushing out ahead, to be honest. If you push out ahead, you might be okay. But man, even this server right now, it's not packed and it's still hard to find herbs, and it's still, I rarely see a mining node. Like, I don't know what the hell's up with that, man, but I haven't seen a mining node in days, like literally days. So, and this is a very populated server. Let me slash who. There is 10,000 people online right now on this server, so you can expect that type of volume on the new server, if not more. This morning it was 11,000 something people on, and I haven't even logged on during peak hours. So you guys can imagine how many people are actually playing this shit, how many people actually love Vanilla Wild and stuff like that. And don't get me wrong, it's great. Like, I'm here and I'm playing it over live and stuff like that, so it's wonderful. But I'm trying to let you guys know right now, if you're a rogue, if you're a hunter, if you're a shaman, um, shit, anything that uses leather, get leatherworking, get skinning. Skinning is a profession that can't be stopped. So even if those people are mining all those nodes and shit like that, guess what I can do? I can farm beasts anywhere. Non-quest beasts or whatever that's not going to be gets completely extinct. Now I can grind them, and I can level the hell out of skinning and in my leatherworking and make all sorts of armor for me. And even though this many people or whatever, prices could be a little bit crazy on an auction house, and you got to make money. How you gonna make money? You need professions. Even fishing. Fishing is going to make a lot, and people can't really stop you from making profit during fishing. Fishing is one of those professions that everyone thinks they want. All the wild players think they want to do and level up, but it's not that easy. You know what I mean? It's one of those professions. It's a side profession. You know what I mean? But it's fishing's always made good money, and you'll have your own abundance of food. So if you're like a warrior or something like that, or a class that doesn't have hills and stuff like that, and you need to rely on food, and you don't want to buy food, and trust me, people don't want to buy food. Food's expensive, expensive. I can't even tell you how much food's expensive. You know what I mean? And if you're a mage, sell your food, sell your portals. Trust me, you're gonna make bank. People right now, even on this server, and it's so far along or whatever, people are still buying level 55 food from mages over buying it from the vendors because it's just too expensive to buy it from the vendors. You know what I mean? And the mage food's just better. The mage can craft you as much as food that they want. It's just way better. And of course they're not going to charge you what the vendor charges you because, well, shit, you just use the vendor. So keep that in mind. If you're a warlock, go affliction, dot up multiple mobs, farm like a beast. you know um Tailoring is not a bad idea. Like I said, it's one of those professions that really can't be stopped by people. As long as you're out there grinding humanoids or whatever, you'll be fine. And what I mean by that is, like, I don't know if it's people, or I don't know if there's bots. I know back in the day there used to be bots, or whatever, that teleport around and grab nodes or whatever, but I'm not sure if that's what's happening here. I'm pretty sure, gold. That's the way gold farmers are making their money during those type of things. So I can imagine that the price on, you know, I would say ores is gonna always be up because mining is just one of those professions where nobody really wants to level it because nobody wants to level up blacksmithing. Like, it's just, mining's just one of those difficult professions. So, and I know it's a gather or whatever, but it's just one of those things. Like, you won't find many people leveling it up, so the price of that is gonna always stay, midway mark. Even if the prices are fluctuating, you'd always still be able to make good money off of it. The problem is being able to find a damn node. Like, look at this. There's no nodes anywhere. We haven't seen one mining node yet, right? And we haven't seen one gathering for herbalism or whatever. So it's crazy. But yet we've already scanned, 9 light leathers and stuff like that, and 2 ruined leather scraps. So just keep in mind, there's some professions. Sometimes you might want to just like grab, if you're clothy, grab tailoring and then grab skinning. You know what I mean? Now, mind you, late game or whatever, what's going to happen is leather's going to fall off. Like, leather's going to be really cheap because a lot of people are going to be doing it, and a lot of people, because it's an easy thing to farm, to be honest with you. And when you're first starting out, it's really good. Maybe you can just level it up and sell the leather, or level up leatherworking and craft stuff. Like, remember, leatherworking, you can still make quivers, so quivers are going to be selling for a decent amount. People are going to want those, especially ones that have 15% more attack speed, 15 slaughters and stuff like that, which is, that's where you're going to make a lot of money at, off of the hunters, just milking the hell out of them. And then twink gear, just being able to craft twink gear. And leatherworking is one of those professions where majority of the twink gear for like rogues and stuff like that, from 28 to 29 to even 18 to 19 or whatever, twink items are going to be crafted with leatherworking. So that's something else or whatever to look forward to. And I know it seems like I'm just selling the hell out of leatherworking, but I can't really sell any other things because I can't find any nodes. Now, enchanting's good too. If you want to do tailoring and enchanting, that's fine. That's going to make good money. Especially if you can farm by yourself, like, farm dungeons later on. I know previously, my warrior had enchanting, and I would run through all the lower level dungeons, and then I would disenchant everything I got, and I made bank. So enchanting's another way to make really, really good money. And that guy's multi-boxing over there. That's funny. Now, be sure to loot everything. I don't care how much bag space you have. Loot everything. Like, don't pass up no loot. You're going to need it for skills. Skills are going to be very expensive. And I mean, like right now, my skills are like 20 silver a piece. And you're like, oh, that's not expensive. That's expensive. 20 when you have to buy like 6 skills and they're all like 20 silver a piece, that's expensive. And you trust me, you're not going to be getting like you're going to get one gold maybe the second day of grinding all day. Like that's how serious your gold situation is going to be. It's going to be very dire. Now, another thing to take into account is figuring out what class you want to play. Now, the only difference between Horde and Alliance is Paladin and Shaman. Now, you may ask which one is better as far as like, support and everything. I'm going to tell you hands down Shaman. Shamans are better than Paladins. That's just the way it is. I don't care what anyone says. Pre BC, Shamans have Wind Fury Totem equals win. Shaman has totems that can buff the whole party equals win. Paladins, Paladins are okay. They're okay. They're okay. That's all I'm going to say on that. I'm not going to go any farther into it. What I really wanted to say as far as like picking your class, some people are going to want to have a farming class and stuff like that. And that's why I'm going to tell you guys right now, the best farming class in the game is Hunter. Hands down, hunters can farm without any downtime whatsoever, utilizing their pet to continuously farm, 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 farm. And trust me, you're going to be doing a lot of farming. You're going to be doing a lot of farming. I don't care if you, even if you PvP, you're going to be doing a lot of farming there too. So just keep that in mind that hunters are the number one farming class, just in case you guys want to make hunters and then farm, and then once you have all the gold and stuff that you need, maybe switch back to the class wherever that you actually want to play. Me, however, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna start off playing the shaman. Um, I'm not going to. I don't care about farming like that. I'm going to farm during professions and stuff like that. I'm going to utilize fishing. I'm going to utilize leatherworking. I'm going to utilize skinning, and I'm going to grind mobs. I'm going to only do quests if I get way farther than people. You know what I mean? I'm not going to quest if the area is packed. That's the plan. Like I'm not against quests, but if the area is super packed out, don't quest. Don't do it to yourself. You know what I mean? Don't do it to yourself. You're just gonna spend a lot of time standing around, and then you're gonna wonder, oh, why is this person level 30? Get yourself an add-on that goes into the next group of tips. Add-ons. You're gonna want an add-on called Questy. Questy's going to, as you can see, if I hit M right now, it shows me every quest that I can possibly get. The little bags indicate quests that require me to loot. Okay? And it tells me there is pretty much a quest helper back then. I'm going to have the link in the description below for Questy. And then another thing that you're going to want is Titan Panel. Now, you're going to have to go find that one. It took me a while to find it, and I had to download it through a turret. And, I'm not 100% sure if the turret was clean or not. I didn't scan it or anything, which is very dangerous, so I'm not going to even put you guys at that risk. So you guys go find, Titan Panel at your own disclosure, and you just be warned and stuff and be careful because there people used to put viruses in these things, and I'm pretty sure some dick lick out there is probably still doing that. So be careful, but you guys definitely want to get Titan Panel. You can get the whole Titan Panel package, which what I have so many options for this thing I can take off and put on. It shows me my honorable kills and all that stuff. It shows me my crit line. It shows me like my biggest crits, what's normal for my crits. You don't really need this. The things you mostly need is kills to level. Kills to level is so great because if whatever experience that you get, now mind you, it's not perfect. If you get a quest that gives you 1,000 experience, it's going to calculate that quest as a kill, and it will calculate how many more of those quests that you need approximately at that same experience in order to level. So right now we're gonna kill this zebra. Oh, this zebra's high level, or whatever, but we're gonna take him down. Wow, this guy's taking a while to go down. Lightning shield. Okay, we don't have our stuff on. There we go. All right, now it's about to get wrecked. It's about to get clumped up. Okay, so the zebra gave us 155 experience, right? Now, if you see down here, it just calculated it. So I need to kill 38 more of those zebras to level. Okay? If I'm a class like a hunter, 38 mobs ain't nothing. You'll smash through those mobs so fast. Matter of fact, you'll smash through that mob so fast on majority of classes. Just make sure you're aware of your class gear requirement so you can best utilize it. Now, let me tell you guys, if you're an enhanced shaman, your primary stat is strength. You always want gear with strength on it if you need more damage. But another thing is stamina. So strength and stamina, the double S's, those are exactly what you're gonna need if you're playing paladin, if you're playing a shaman as melee, if you're playing a warrior. If you're playing anything besides rogue and hunter, you're going to want strength and stamina. If you're playing a warlock, you're going to want intelligence and stamina. If you're playing a mage, you're going to want intelligence and stamina. If you're playing priest, you're going to want intelligence, you're going to want stamina, or you're going to want, spirit and intelligence, or spirit, intelligence, and stamina are your thing. So you get the three S's if you're playing priest, because the spirit increases your regen, and you're gonna need that whatever for your heals if you're going to be healer. If you're just going to be a damage dealer priest like a shadow priest, then you just want intelligence and stamina. Now, if you're playing a rogue, you want agility and stamina. If you're playing a hunter, you want agility and stamina. Now, shamans don't get any attack power from agility whatsoever. The only thing that benefits you from here is increased chance to score a critical hit with all weapons and increases your armor and chance to dodge. So it's kind of a defensive and offensive stat, whatever for you, but you don't really want it. What you want is strength. Now, this big boy right here gives you 2 attack power per strength. One strength equals 2 attack power. So you can imagine if you have Crusader and Crusader proc and it gives you 100 strength, that's 200 attack power. So that's the type of stuff you want. Don't be walking around with agility on your gear if you're a shaman. Even intelligence is good for a shaman just because um it gives you like spell damage and spell crit and all that stuff. So, and you do use spells as a shaman. You're a bit of a hybrid melee always. So remember, your storm strike's going to increase the damage of your shocks by a certain percentage, and you're going to use that debuff to just lay down the elemental damage on people, and that's what you do as an enhancement shaman. Now, mages, everyone knows what mages do. You're a caster, boom, boom, boom. You cast. That's what you do. You wreck face or whatever. Warriors, you wreck face with melee. So you guys pretty much get a pretty much understanding of what's going on there. Another thing I wanted to touch on is getting discouraged. If you get beat by another class in a game, if you lose one duel, it's not the end of the world. Don't get discouraged. Pick your shit up and carry the fuck on, alright? You picked the class that you wanted to play or whatever, that you felt that you were going to have the most fun on. Have the most fun on it. Always have a positive mindset about it. You know what I mean? Don't go and duel someone and then when you lose or whatever feel like, oh well, their class is more powerful than mine and stuff like that. No, my saying, what I like to say is find a way. No matter what, Find a way. I don't give a damn if you have to kite someone through the Barrens, all the way inside of Ogomar, you know what I mean? Find a way to play your class. Find a way to make it work for you. Now, I know a lot of people out there, you guys watch these PvP videos, and the main thing you guys see is, these rogues wrecking people, these mages wrecking people, shamans, all that stuff over time as you learn your class. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just jump on a class and just feel that, oh, you're going to wreck somebody right off the bat. You have to develop a playstyle that's right for you, not them. So, for instance, back in the day as a warrior, I used to watch other warriors play, and I used to try to copy the way they played and stuff like that, but it didn't fit the momentum of my play style. And it was kind of like, no matter how much I tried, it didn't feel right. I couldn't get it to feel right, don't. And when you also, is the same thing goes for your bars. You know what I mean? If you're setting up your bars, you set up your bars the way you need to set up your bars. The whole pre-VC, I used to, because I clicked, I didn't have an MMO mouse back then. There was no such thing. So I would put everything over here where this hill is, all my damage skills starting from here, then all my support skills down here. So that was so I could click the damage skill and have this area right here where all my damage skills were. So I can click in, my important skills, my old shit skills, and then I had 1 and 2 for the heals because it was easy for me to tap them from using WASD with my index finger or something like that to just go up and just go bam bam and hit those. You know what I mean? Play whatever way you want. If you're a clicker, that's fine. You know what I mean? If you like to macro your stuff up, that's fine. Just because you see somebody in a video that plays a certain way that Rex face doesn't mean you have to copy everything they do to a T. You don't have to worry about people telling you, oh, you're not playing this way, or you're not running this talent, or you're not running this skill, whatever, so you're not good. You know what I mean? Never let anyone discourage you from playing the game how you want to play the game and have fun exactly how you want to play the game. Even me, if you watch my videos and you like the information that I give, that's great. Give me a thumbs up. If you don't like them, give me a thumbs down. You know what I mean? If you really like my shit, though, you subscribe like a real boss needs to subscribe. But let's get on to some other topic. Okay, so this one is for the people that you're gonna save up gold and stuff like that, and you're gonna have a little bit more gold left over after you buy your skills and everything. And yeah, that's fine. But let me tell you guys something. Don't waste your gold. Don't be in an auction house buying stuff. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. There's not there's not a single class in this game that really needs to be buying gear and weapons from the auction house to level. Maybe if you're a warrior or, yeah, maybe warrior. Warrior is probably that only exception in the game that I can think of right now. If I'm wrong, tell me in the comment section below. But you don't want to spend your gold. You know what I mean? You don't want to spend your gold. When you hit level 40, you're going to need, I think, 50 gold or 100 gold or some shit like that. You're going to need a lot of gold for your first mount. And trust me, if you can't afford it, you're going to be bummed out if all your friends are rocking around on their 60% faster mounts and your ass is just fucking walking across the plains of Azeroth like a scrub. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy that's walking across the plains of Azeroth. You know what I mean? Get out there and save money for your mount. Start saving at level 1. Every time you gain 2 copper, put 1 copper away for your mount. Trust me. Trust me. Trust me. Trust me. You don't want to be that guy. If you're that guy, you're going to be sad. I know, because I was that guy. I didn't get my mount until I was level 60. I didn't have a single mount until level 60 on my Night Elf Warrior. I bullshit you not, and it was horrible. All my friends, oh my goodness, when you get in, and you're in a PvP server too, oh my goodness, dude, you can't run from nobody first of all, so you can't turn down no fades. You know what I mean? You just giving them hands anytime anybody walks up. anytime anyone pokes their head out, you just giving them fades. That's all you doing because you cannot run. You don't have a mount. What the fuck you gonna do? I was a night elf. I could hide. I could stay in like one spot all day and hide from people, but that's not gonna help nothing. You know what I mean? When there's a big war and a PvP going on, and places like Stranglethorn or whatever, and some reason you're in that war with your buddies and everything, and you can't mount out and ride, you're gonna be that one guy. You know what I mean? You know the saying. You don't have to be the fastest guy, but you have to be faster than that one guy. And that if you don't have if you don't have a mount, you're gonna be that one guy that gets wrecked. I'm just letting you know right now. All right, guys. These have been my little small tips. I hope I helped you guys in some type of way. Peace out. I love you guys. And subscribe because if you don't, I'll punch you in your nipples.